Welcome back. The World Government Summit will convene under the theme Shaping Future Governments. Currently underway in Dubai, the summit will bring together governments, international organizations, thought leaders and private sector leaders from around the globe to foster international cooperation and ultimately inspiring and empowering the next generation of governments. One of the speakers, Professor Abdon Atangana, is a distinguished applied mathematician and academic head of the Department of Applied Mathematics at the University of the Free State in South Africa. Renowned internationally for his groundbreaking work in fractional calculus, mathematical modeling, and real-world applications of applied mathematics, he has published extensively and holds editorial roles in numerous scientific journals. As the world faces rapid transformations from digital and AI revolutions to pressing infrastructure, health and educational needs, Professor Atangana's voice is a critical addition to conversations at the World Government Summit of 2026, a platform where global leaders and experts shape actionable strategies for future governance. Professor, it's such an honor to have you with us this evening. Welcome to the Daily Roundup.
Thank you also for having me.
Well, Professor, let's get straight into it. Applied mathematics often, operates behind the scenes of, technological and scientific progress. But how can mathematic modeling and STEM innovations be more directly integrated into public policy, particularly now in African nations, to address infrastructure, health and educational challenges?
I used to take example of China. When you go to China, you see what Chinese are doing using basic science like mathematics, like chemistry, like physics. You understand that you cannot have a developing country if you don't put more effort in basic science. I will give you an example. When we had COVID in Africa and in the other part of the world, what other people did is they collected some data and they modeled those. They collected the data and they checked those data and transform those data into mathematical formula, and they solve those equations, and they predicted how many people will be able to die, how many people will be, recover from the disease. From there, they can take some decision to say social distancing and all those things. We are talking about, for example, Namibia would like to have a mining activity, maybe in a specific place where there is agriculture. And in that place, people are also relying on water, for example. And the question is, should we give the license to these people to come and mine? Or should we do first a conceptual model using mathematics to see if Namibia is going to benefit or our groundwater will be destroyed? So there are many examples that I can quote that mathematics is used, to make sure that the country take better decision. When I was in China last year, the topic was about mathematics. How can we continue, bringing younger people to understand mathematics so that they can be better chemists, they can be better physics, they can be better in many areas of science. So yes, mathematics is the key of taking decision, because we use mathematics for prediction.
With a growing discussion on artificial intelligence, Professor, and public health, how can mathematical models improve health systems responses in Africa, particularly now in disease surveillance, and perhaps resource allocation and planning?
Yeah, the question is a little bit fast, but let me try to answer. First of all, let us take example of the tumor that is growing around somebody in somebody's body. So what we do as mathematician, we are able to use what we call Fourier transform. For example, we use Fourier transform to scan and know at which extent the cancer has already spread, and we will be able to tell, for example, the person in charge that this is what you are supposed to do. This is the X-ray that you are supposed to be giving to the patient. So there are a lot. So for example, today we were discussing about how to use artificial intelligence, to make medicine very efficient and to reach many people around the world, even when you are in your house. How can we do it? And again, the most important thing that we were discussing about was we have to go back into the basic science like mathematics to generate new formula, to generate new result that are suitable for Africa, because many results have been generated. Those results were generated for maybe European country, but we have our reality in Africa. So what we have to do is to focus on Africa problem, see how we can use mathematics that is developed in Africa to generate new result, and those results will be used to solve problems in Africa, and to make sure that we take decisions that are good for our continent, without relying on the results that are produced by Chinese, for example. They produce those results for their country, for their country, for their continent. We have to do our own.
Well, at global events such as the World Government Summit, education is a core theme. So what are the greatest barriers, Professor, to strengthening STEM education and research capacity in Africa?
First of all, we have a problem of, I have to be honest with you, the government have to understand that we cannot have a developed country without listening to people that are doing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So today, I had many interviews. That is the message that I'm trying to pass to the government of Africa. Most importantly, they have to sit with their talent, the bright brain of their country, to discuss about the issue that they have, and to see how those issues can be solved using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And today I feel a little bit bad, because when we discuss with people from the United States, they will tell you that my government get me $10 million to do this project. That is why we obtain this result. So the barrier we have as African people is that basic science is not funded. People believe that mathematics is not important. People believe that chemistry is not important. So what the government do is, okay, you know what? We are going to sponsor only the project that is going to give us solution tomorrow. Whereas China is not doing like that. China is saying we are going to fund the project that is going to, even if it takes 10 years, but if it can lead to a breakthrough to change our country, then we are going to do it. So research in Africa is not sponsored. We put priority in other things. For example, when we recently we were seeing football, all the country were excited. Everybody was saying, "I'm going to give $1 million to player." But what about research? Football cannot change any continent. It cannot change a country. But research is what other countries use to change their country, and we have that problem. There's no funding in basic science, and I'm begging the government. Perhaps Namibia is doing better, because I have just graduated a PhD in Namibia. Asteria Lee, she got PhD under me. I saw that people sponsor her, and I think that we have to put more effort in putting more money into basic science.
You mentioned earlier that, the order of the day today at the summit was touching on artificial intelligence, and it features heavily on the global agenda. But from your perspective, Professor, how should African governments balance the opportunities of, AI for development with concerns around ethics, data governance, digital divides, and even workforce readiness?
Yeah, you see, first of all, we have to be honest that we only consume. When we are talking about using, for example, ChatGPT or DeepSeek, those are the product of what other government they put money on. Is it possible for us to build our own? That is the question that I have to ask. Is it possible for us to build our own? Because we have some limitation that we cannot control what other countries are developing. For example, our younger one, they are using artificial intelligence, for example, to answer question assignment. But the question is, why Africa cannot develop their own type of artificial intelligence, so that we use it to solve problems? We use it, we will be able to regulate it, to say, for example, that this is how researchers in Africa can use it. So the conversation today was, United States put a lot of money, China put a lot of money, other countries, for example, like the Middle East, they start saying that they will also put money. But the problem is not only to use theirs. What about us? Can we not also develop something that will be controlled by African? Why do we always have to wait for other people to develop some tool, then we use it irresponsibly sometimes in our continent. So the conversation should change. We should stop being consumer. We should also produce. China produced DeepSeek. Now they are leading in artificial intelligence. I was invited last year in a very big congress about artificial intelligence and mathematics. And there you can see that the municipality invited all the brain in the world to discuss about how they can enhance the artificial intelligence that they have already there. But why can we not have it in Africa? I will not speak about what their artificial intelligence will do in our continent. I want to call on African Union, for example. Is it possible for us, for Africa to build, because that is power, building artificial intelligence to control the world. So US will control, China will control. What about Africa?
Well, finally, Professor, as a thought leader participating at this World Government Summit, what's your vision for how, science, technology and applied mathematics can shape the next decade of sustainable development across African markets?
No, it's not like how it can. It's already shaping, because this is the mistake. People think that it can. It's already shaping. It's what people use to build computer. Is what people use to build plane. Is what people use to understand the movement of water underground. Is what people are using to call. Is what people are using to diagnose, for example, diseases. Is what people are using. If you go to China, you can see how they are using this basic science to shape their country, to put road where it is impossible, where in our eyes as African is impossible. They study the geology, they study the structure of the place, and they put the road there. So it's already shaping. It's not like how it can shape. But in the case of Africa, the problem is, as I said, it is funding. And another big problem that we have is that there is a gap, there's no bridge between intellectual and the government. As today, people were saying that in the United States, the reason why they are where they are is because they took the brightest mind of the country and they put it on the table to discuss with the government. So in Africa, I'm not sure about Namibia. In Africa, it is very hard, for example, for a professor like me, who is respected outside of Africa, to have a contact with the government to explain to them, this is what is happening, this is what we can do, what do you think, can we discuss, because we are the one doing the research. So people that are doing basic science, we can develop whatever we can develop, but if the government cannot take it forward, it's useless. So I'm again begging African government to understand that, yes, you are a minister, yes, you are a president, but a professor that become professor because he introduced new things in new knowledge, have to be in contact with you so that you can discuss how you can take the country forward. So let us fund basic science in Africa. Let us discuss with professor and the government. We discuss with the government should discuss with the brightest mind. Then we will see whether we can compete with the rest of the world or not.
Professor Atangana, we know that you've got a jam-packed agenda over the next 3 days. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us this evening here on the Daily Roundup.
Thank you very much also for having me.
That was Professor Abdon Atangana speaking to us from Abu Dhabi, where the World Government Summit is convening over the next 3 days. We'll be back with more conversations. Stay with us.